What's going on, everybody? It's Funtime Wallace here. If you don't know, I actually moved recently in August. It's not really recent, but I moved to Kentucky from Florida. So this video is going to be kind of my pickups from pretty much since I've been here since August. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that I forgot because I have picked up a bunch of stuff between here and there. So if you do want to see exactly what I picked up and see the past deals and exactly what I got in those deals, and you should check it out on my Instagram, which is Funtime Wallace. I'm also post like games I'm playing in my backlog and stuff like that as well. Whew, it's on here. I'm sorry. Also, I was gonna say something. I'm not gonna edit it out. Also, all the games that I've got from like deals or stuff like that, they actually paid for themselves. The only games that really didn't pay for themselves are games I got off of Macari. But other than that, pretty much every game has paid for itself to add to collection for free. So we're gonna get started. The first game I got off was on Macari. I actually had a $10 coupon or something like that because I think I invited a friend, so I got it for free. That is Valkyria Revolution. Valkyria Chronicles 4 was a game that was probably my favorite game of 2018, so I wanted to dive further into the series, and I figured why not? It's for free, basically. So, the next two games were actually from a yard sale. Yard sales. When I first moved down here, I went garage sale heavy. I went crazy at first. And the first like day I went yard selling, actually there was a huge community sale that had a bunch of games I found. The first was out of an NES lot, and that is Ghosts and Goblins, which this game, it's cool and all, but I'm not a fan of it. It's too hard for me. I personally don't have fun with it, so it may not stay in my collection, but I'm glad I at least got a new NES game. I don't really see them. And the other one was Resident Evil 2 for the PS1. I actually didn't have that one, so I add that as well. They actually had some pretty decent games from what I remember. He had Tomb Raider, which is actually up there, which is another one that I added to my collection. Tomb Raider Chronicles, Tomb Raider 2, um, Metal Gear Solid. He had a few Xbox games as well. I remember he had Jade Empire and a few other Xbox games, but I sold all those and got to add those games for free. The NES games were from a separate seller as well, but that was really cool. I got them for dirt cheap. This next one is the collector's edition for Gris. This was a pre-order from, I believe, Special Reserve Games. It's a very beautiful game. If you haven't played it, I highly suggest you play that game. It's absolutely beautiful. The next one I got from my friend Chavez. If I said your name wrong, I'm sorry. On Instagram, he hooked me up with this, which is the Luigi's Mansion Steelbook from the UK. The Power Regions got this, and he also threw in this. Oop. Oh, it looks backwards. This as well. I'm gonna threw that in as well. I got it for pretty cheap. They're selling for way more than I got it for on eBay, so I really do appreciate him. Again, if you have any gaming needs, he's definitely the guy to hit up. I think it's at Chavez, Ashevez, if I'm not mistaken. Hit him up, and he can hook you up with some import games if you live in the States, and if you don't, you can hit him up as well. The next two I got back, I went to Florida with my job. I went there to work, and I went game hunting, and I found these two. The first one is Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. It says $10, but I got it for $3, along with 2 copies of Final Fantasy Tactics. I think I spent $9 altogether. I sold those 2 off. I wish I kept one, but I got to add this to the collection for free, so that's cool. Another game I got there was Valkyrie. I'll say that wrong. Valkyrie Profile. This is a series I want to dive into. Well, I believe I'm not mistaken, this is a remaster of the first game on the PS1, which that game is incredibly ridiculously priced, so I'm probably not gonna ever get it anytime soon. So once I get a PSP, which is soon, I'll be playing this one for sure. The next one is another PSP game. These three games pretty much made me want to get a PSP, but I haven't yet. Not gonna make excuses. I just haven't yet. That's all I'm gonna say. But Castlevania, the Dracula X collection. This has Castlevania Rondo of Blood and Castlevania Symphony of Night. I've never actually played through any of the Castlevania games, and I heard that these two are one of the two of the best games. So really stoked about that. The next one I got from a local antique store. Well, it's like an antique mall, which I never really find games there, at least games that are worth buying. But I actually got this, which is Super Princess Peach. I believe I paid $13 or $11 for this, which is pretty good. It sells for about 25 to 30, so I don't mind paying that. And I think I sold off a bunch of games beforehand, so that paid off pretty much that game anyway, so I wasn't that worried about it. The next game is Parasite Eve. This is complete in box. I actually got this from a trade from someone locally. In the next few games I'm going to show, I actually got a bunch of games from them. I got Wii Animal Crossing City Folk for the Wii with the little sensor, and I actually traded that for Parasite Eve, which at the time Animal Crossing was only like a $10, $12 game, and the little add-on thing was like $5, and I got this from them. So really stoked about that. That was a really good deal. I sold off all the stuff anyways that I got from that deal, and it paid for everything. So I wasn't really at a loss with Animal Crossing. So I got this for free. Really stoked about it. I haven't played it yet, but it's a game I definitely want to dive into. So as far as the games I mentioned, I met this guy on Facebook. It started off with like 4 Game Boy Advance games. I drove like an hour almost out to go get them, and it actually worked out in my favor because he had a bunch of Xbox games, a bunch of Wii games, the Game Boy Advance games. I got a complete unboxed Wii, which is up here. You can't see it. But I got that, and it was just, it was insane. It is on my Instagram story if you want to go check it out. It was pretty crazy. But what I kept from that deal was Halo 1, classic game. Can't go wrong with that. I also got an Xbox from him as well, an original Xbox with 4 controllers. I kept one because I think it was the Pelican wireless controller, and then I kept the Halo Edition controller. And then I also got a Waybird controller, which is in my boxes over there, which I'm not getting out. So I got that as well. And I also got Boom Blocks for the Wii. This isn't really anything crazy, but it's fun, and I have a lot of fun with it. The next 2 deals, these 2 games here I got from Facebook Market or Lego. He had a lot of PS1 games, and I think he had a PS1 too. I sold the PS1, the games off, and got these 2 for free, which is really cool because they're 2 RPGs, which I never find in the wild. So the first one is Final Fantasy VIII. Yeah, Final Fantasy VIII. I'm currently playing through all the Final Fantasy games, so that's going to be one that I'll be hopefully diving into this year, maybe next, we'll see. And I got Vandal Hearts as well, which is a pretty uncommon game. I've only seen it like twice, apart from my copy. So I'm really stoked to see that one as well. I've never played it. I think it's a tactical RPG. I was going to sell it, which I'm really glad I didn't, but yeah, I kept that for my collection. And then after I sold off everything, things that didn't sell, I traded into my local game store, and I got this, which is Jersey Devil. This is a super fun platformer game. I played it when I was a kid, and I absolutely loved it. So I'm really glad to have this again. And I'm probably going to play it soon. Next off was from some of these, all these were from a GameStop buy 2, get 2, or buy 3, get 3, or something like that deal. I don't know what happened to the other games. I don't know if I sold them or not, but this is all I remember from that deal, so bear with me. I got Shadow of the Colossus remastered, or remake. I think it's, the remake, sorry. This game, on the PS2 is one of my favorite games of all time. So I'm really stoked to play this remake and see. I've seen a little bit of it and it looks absolutely phenomenal. So I'm really stoked about that pickup. That was honestly one of the games that I got a PS4 for to play is Shadow of the Colossus. I also got Shadow of the Tomb Raider. This is the, if I can get it out there, the Steelbook edition. I have the Steelbook edition of Rise of the Tomb Raider, so I'm trying to get them all Steelbook because it's just a collector of me. I hate not having them all if I have one. So I got that as well. And then I got Moonlighter. I wanted Moonlighter for the Switch, but there wasn't any really other game that I wanted. That was within the game. I think it's like $19.99 and under. You can get the buy 3 get 3, I think it was. So this is all they had that I wanted, so I just picked it. And they had The Last Guardian. And these are from the same makers of Shadow of the Colossus and Eco. So with my love for that game, I feel like I'm going to love that game as well. I don't think it got as good reviews as I thought it would get, but it still looks pretty fun. And I got Evil Within 2. This is a game I see all the time, but I didn't have it, and I had the first one, so I figured why not. And then I got Dragon's Crown Pro. And this was a game that released on the PS3. It's kind of similar to like Muramasa or like Odin Sphere with the art style. I'm not sure if the gameplay style is the same, but I know the art style is the same, so that really made me want to get it. And this is also a really cool steelbook, so I had to get it for that as well. Next up is kind of a shitty thing I did, but look, sometimes you gotta do it. I traded in a reproduction cart of Conker's Bad Fur Day to GameStop. Usually I would not do that, like 100% truthfully I wouldn't, but I don't care, it's GameStop. Honestly, they're not at a loss with it, I don't care. I hope someone didn't get the repro and thought it was real. If they wanted the real thing, I don't regret it. But I traded in the reproduction cart, I got like $35 credit. And then I got this Tales of Vesperia for brand new. It was sealed. It was actually on sale when I got it. So thankfully I got this as well off of a reproduction cart that I got screwed over in a past deal when I was in Florida. So take that, GameStop. I got Collection of Mana. Secret of Mana is a game that I want to knock off my list this year. So when this came out, I was like, yeah, why not? I haven't played Final Fantasy Adventure or Trials of Mana, so I'm definitely going to be playing this one soon so I can dive into all 3 of those, and I also want to pick up the Trials of Mana remake, so I'll play on here first, and then I'll pick it up afterwards. Ooh, the next few games are from the stimulus check that we got. I was like, I'm gonna buy a few games just because I haven't been able to buy much due to moving. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy a few games. So the first one I bought is Astral Chain. This is a game I believe came out in 2000 last year or 2018, I don't remember. But it's a game I really wanted and I just couldn't afford, so I finally got it. I'm really stoked to dive into it. Once I dive into my backlog, my Switch backlog, I'm probably going to start with this one after I finish what I'm currently playing, which I'll talk about later. I got Gravity Rush 2 for the PS4. The first Gravity Rush is an incredibly amazing game. I don't see many people talking about it. It's kind of a hidden gem. I think it's a Sony exclusive made by Sony, if I'm not mistaken. Which, if it's made by Sony and it doesn't have that much love, I don't understand why, because they should be promoting the hell out of the first one. I don't know about this one, but if it's as good as the first one, then they need to be doing some promotion. But I'm really stoked to play this one for the story, because the first game was honestly probably one of my favorite PS4 games, so really stoked to dive into that one. I got that off of Macari. Every game coming up, I think I got off Macari besides one. I got the BioShock collection. I figured I'd just go ahead and pick this up. I love the Bioshock games. I feel like I've played through all of them. I don't know if I finished the first and second one. I know I for sure finished Infinite, but I picked it up just so I could play through them whenever I want to. Um, Now that the Switch port is out, which I didn't know at the time, I still rather have this edition or this version just because I feel like it'll probably run a little bit better than the Switch one. I got Okami HD. This is a Japan exclusive, the actual physical version of it. The America only got the digital download. So I imported this over. They actually had a special edition too, which is what I honestly wanted, but you get what you can take, you know. And I got this. I think I spent like $30 or $40 off it on it from a reseller on Macari. He like sells a bunch of Switch imports. So I got this from him, and he actually cut me a deal on. I think they're next to. No, they're not. Hold on. So Mega Man Zero ZX Collection. I got this as well from Walmart. This game skyrocketed in price. I think it dropped down since the making of this video, but whenever I first got it, it was selling for like $60 to $80, and when I got it off of Walmart, they took the listing off. So I think I got the last copy. I was kind of like, am I gonna get it? But I did, thankfully, because I didn't want to spend $60 on it. One thing about this, it actually is all on one cart. Like the ZX collection, not ZX, like the X collection and the Legacy collection. This is actually on one cart, so I thought that was really cool because Capcom, I love you ish, but the way you've been doing Mega Man games, it's making me pissed off. So these two games, a reseller hooked me up on. I think I got them from 95 shipped, which isn't like that great of a deal, but compared to PlayAsia, I think it'd probably be like 120 shipped, if not more. So the first thing I got was the Final Fantasy VII Twin Pack with Final Fantasy VIII. I've recently been on a huge Final Fantasy kick, like I said earlier, and I recently played through the original Final Fantasy VII, and I absolutely love the game, so I'm glad to have this to play it whenever I want to. Whenever I originally played it, my save got deleted, so I had to watch the rest, so I didn't really play it, but it is what it is. And then Final Fantasy VIII Remastered is a game that I want to play as well, so I'm going to play it on my Switch, so my save doesn't get deleted again. And then the other game is this Dragon Quest collection. It comes with Dragon Quest 1, Dragon Quest 2, and Dragon Quest 3, which are, in the States, I think they're the Dragon Warrior games on the NES. I really want to dive into the series. I enjoy diving into the series from the start, just to kind of see how far they kind of came since then. Final Fantasy, I don't think the first game has aged very well. I haven't played the second one, but it doesn't look like it aged very well either. But these games I've heard very good things about, so I'm really stoked to dive into these. So the last few things, I have about 5 or 6 more games I want to say left. The next one is Final Fantasy VII Remake. I got the deluxe edition of this. Thankfully, I chased it down everywhere, no one had it, and then randomly at Target had 1 copy left. So thankfully I got this. I played it. At first, I wasn't really in support of it because they said that wasn't all going to be the whole game. It was just going to be the first part, and I was like, there's no way it's going to be good. But the Midgar section and how they handle it was absolutely incredible. I highly recommend picking this game up. If you want to wait for it to go on sale, that's completely fine, but I highly suggest picking this game up, especially if you are a Final Fantasy VII fan. And then I got Baten Kaitos on the GameCube. I actually got this from a guy on Let Go. I got some GameCube games and King of Fighters, I think it was 98 or 97 for the PS2. I sold all those off and I kept this in my collection. Really crazy deal. I don't ever find GameCube games really, so when I found these, I was like, I'm definitely picking it up. I'm definitely keeping this one. He had Super Smash Brothers, and I think he was asking like 10 for it, but I talked him down to 7. I asked him if he had any more games, which I highly suggest you do. He said yes, and that's what led me to this and the rest of the deal, which ended up absolutely incredible. So we're getting down to the last parts of the deal, or of the deals I picked up and games I picked up. The first game, let me give a backstory first. So these were actually for my girlfriend for my birthday recently, the beginning of June. It was my birthday. We were actually looking through some of her older games and her sister's games, and I saw these two, and I'm like, first of all, I need those. One of them's really expensive. I wasn't expecting her to give it to me, but she did, and I'm incredibly thankful for it. She gave it to me for my birthday, and I'm honestly super happy. If you want to not buy anything for your significant other, and yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, but if you don't want to have to buy things for your significant other and you have games in your closet somewhere, date a gamer because it's very cheap as long as you have free games. Just don't tell them about them. Pull them out when it comes to their birthday. There you go. Tip. That was stupid. But anyways, I got Link's Crossbow Training. Nothing special really here. It's a cheap game, but I'm a huge Zelda collector and I don't have that one. So why not? You know? The thing I'm real excited about though is this here, which is Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. I've actually really been wanting to dive into the Fire Emblem games, but I don't find them, like, ever. So I got one. That's a start. I think Three Houses is where I'm going to start with the series. A lot of people said, like, that's where you need to start. So I'm going to look and see if any of, like, the stories intertwine with the older games. If not, I'm probably going to start with Three Houses because I really want to dive into the series. It looks very fun. I don't like a few aspects of it, like the permadeath, but that's just something I have to get over. So last two deals I got, this one's not a deal. I paid retail for it. I don't know why I'm saying that. But is this Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition for the Switch. I never played Xenoblade Chronicles, so I'm actually currently playing it through it now, and I'm having a really fun time with it. I'm, like, absolutely loving the game. I enjoy this one a lot more than I enjoyed the second game. I think that I did like the second game a lot. I haven't finished it. But this game's a lot more polished. The story is a lot more fluent, and it feels like there's a lot less filler in the game. I think I'm on chapter 5 or 6, but whew, I'm really glad I got this. I have the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Collector's Edition, so I would feel weird not getting the Collector's Edition for this. So even though I haven't played it, I knew I was going to like it anyways, and I'm really glad because it's absolutely beautiful. I also got one thing with that. My girlfriend got me this, which is this Final Fantasy VII poster. It's just a promotional poster, but I'm really stoked about it. I'm actually going to put it on the wall next to my PlayStation collection. And yeah, it's really awesome. I love it. So I'm thankful for that. Ever since I played Final Fantasy VII, I've been absolutely in love with the game. So yeah, don't play that game if you haven't, because you'll love it, most likely. The last thing I got was recently, I met this little kid, which I hate meeting kids with deals. First of all, I just feel weird. I feel like an old man. But also, there's always something sketchy with them. The kid, he had these DS games, and I was like, yo, let's meet up. Like, I want these games now, for the game that's in my hand. And we met up. He didn't have the game. He didn't have a bunch of the other games we agreed on. He had 2 pictures on his posting. He was like, oh, I'm sorry, man, it was just the first picture. And I'm like, nah, dude, that's not how I roll. Like, go get the other 2 games. I'll wait here out of school, which that was weird as well. But, hey, so I waited for the kid. Thankfully, he came back. He actually had some extra stuff as well. He had a Pokemon White case, a case for Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, a case for Super Mario DS, Super Mario 64 DS, and I think a few other things as well that he threw in. I got the whole deal for $20. I sold off the Pokemon case and pretty much got my money back. And then everything else I made profit off of, which I'm going to be using to go thrifting and garage selling this coming weekend. Anyways, but what I got was Resident Evil Deadly Silence. This is complete. It jumped up in price. It's about a $70 to $80 game now. I had it loose, and now I have a complete copy for my collection. So I'm a huge Resident Evil fan and a huge Resident Evil collector. So I'm trying to go for a complete set, all of the side series games, mainline games. I want all of them. So thankfully I got this. I got to upgrade my copy to a complete copy, and I got it for free. So that's that. Pretty much everything besides the Macari deals and like the Walmart deals, not deals, but games I got from Walmart and Macari, they pretty much all paid for themselves. So if you want to see a video on that, let me know in the comments below. I think I might try to start making videos again, at least periodically. We'll see though. But if you do want to see a video on how to, just kind of tips to get a collection for free, definitely let me know in the comments. Let me know on Instagram. Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at the Funtime Wallace, and have a good one, y'all.